Hey there, Scott Walsh from GatorVentures.com, and today I'm going to give you a tour of my yard and show you the various bamboo that I have growing in my collection. Many of you come to my website and my YouTube channel looking for information on growing bamboo, how to propagate bamboo, germinate bamboo seed, and so on. And what this is really going to show you today is kind of give you an idea of what your bamboo will look like in several years from growing from a single comb division primarily. As most of the bamboo I have in my collection are tropical clumpers. I have about 13 or 14 bamboo in my yard right now, and of that, I would say 9 are clumpers and 4 are runners. Runners have been contained in pots. I do have one runner right behind me that we'll talk about here shortly that did escape containment. Another runner previously escaped containment in the backyard or was not properly contained, and got another video elsewhere on the YouTube channel talking about that and the dangers of what happens when you plant bamboo, running bamboo, and don't contain it. But outside of that, yeah, like I said, most of the bamboo in my collection, currently where we're at now, I've lived in this house for a little bit over 5 years. And as we go around the yard, every tropical bamboo you see that's been in the ground has been in the ground 4 or 5 years, all planted from a single comb division. So with that, let's go for a tour. Okay, so here we have Pseudososa japonica. This is a running bamboo. Again, running bamboos typically can be invasive if not contained. This bamboo has been in this spot for 5 years. Started out in a pot, and it escaped out of that pot and has kind of grown laterally in 2 directions, right towards this way and then over that way. Makes a really good hedge bamboo, again, if contained or maintained. Again, this one escaped from its pot, and I'll get down here where that oak tree is at. It's kind of where that pot kind of still is, and if you look back in there, I get a good shot, you can see the pot right there. It was about a 10-gallon or maybe 15-gallon pot, and it's just gone from there right now. This is close to about 11 feet tall, somewhere in that range. And again, when you look at it from this side, makes a nice little hedge. Can't see anything behind it, and you can go from there. Wife doesn't want it out here. Again, it's running this way as well, but certainly it's got its advantages. There's Misha. Okay, and here's one of my newest bamboos in the collection, Bambusa hirose. This is a clumper. Similar to Old Hami, some people call it Bambusa Old Hami hirose, but we'll just call it hirose. Got this from a friend of mine who had actually dug it all up out of his yard, and this is the last remaining one. So I haven't figured out where I'm putting this one. Right behind it is an unknown runner. It's been in that pot for some time, but here is one of what I think, and where it hence it gets its name from. Right there is Bambusa textilis gracilis, also known as graceful bamboo. And you can see it's got that nice classic straight upright with some arching. It's a very nice profile. Again, this one, all of these bamboo in my yard have been in the ground for 5 years. And these were all from single comb divisions at one point. So here, I'm gonna grab this one here. This, as you can see, it's kind of topped right there. This was the original planting 5 years ago. And now you can kind of see, I don't know, there's probably 100 combs in there. And it is shooting season, so you see all the new shoots coming up. This one also has to be thinned out again, but I haven't done that yet. So again, nice tight clumper. Looks good, very beautiful. A little bit of grayish powder on the combs when they come out, and after the comb sheaths drop off to start branching out. But again, very beautiful, very elegant bamboo. Here's another new one I just got actually from Tropical Bamboo down in South Florida, and this is actually a triple hybrid. When I first saw this on one of the Facebook groups, I was like, no way, you'd have to have a hybrid of a hybrid, and you'd have to have multiple bamboos seeding at the same time. And I called BS on it at first, but once I researched it, these were actually done in a lab with some forced Some scientists much smarter than me, we'll just put it that way. And this one, if we look at the tag here, is latiflorus, Dendrocalamus D.daii, and Bambusa textilis, triple hybrid. Hasn't started shooting yet. Again, I bought this recently. I'm gonna put this somewhere because the combs that come up with this thing are absolutely stunning. And we'll see what this looks like once it goes in the ground. Okay, here we have Bambusa emeiensis viridiflavus, also known as yin yang bamboo. It's a somewhat tight clumper, rather large 2.5 to 3 inch culms. It's got a nice shape to it, pretty tall. Again, started from a single culm division 5 years ago, and gets its name yin yang from the alternating yellow stripes you can see on the culms here. So it comes up on this node, and then on the other side, and then back on the other side for the stripes. You can just kind of see it, and that's very beautiful. This one's got a little bit of, again, needs to be thinned out. Don't know if it's got any new shoots coming up yet, but you can see this here again was the original piece of bamboo, not very big. And again, this is all 5 years growth. All right, we started way far back on this one, but this is by far one of my favorite bamboos in my collection. This is Dendrocalamus validus. This is a little bit temperate. This one does not like temperatures below 25. It will actually freeze and die back to the ground. So here in Northeast Florida, we do get that on occasion. But this is a simply huge bamboo. It has beautiful colors when the new shoots come out. A very vibrant orange. I know I have one shoot coming out, but as we get closer, again, that is the original culm from 5 years ago. And let me see if I can get this here. You can kind of look, it just goes and goes and goes. This one, when mature, is said to be 6 inches diameter, 60 feet tall, and it's very, very wide. Here, you can give you a profile of my hand. These culms right now are about 4 inches in diameter on the bottom. Very, very beautiful bamboo. And I think, yeah, we got one new shoot popping up right now. Can't really see the color. I'll have to come back to this one when it actually starts getting some growth on that shoot. But again, if you want a big bamboo, something that's used for construction, you want to build stuff with it, Dendrocalamus varieties are definitely what you would want to be interested in. Certainly for, again, North Florida can be a little sensitive. Definitely Central and South Florida. You guys will love a Dendrocalamus in your collection. All right, here we have Bambusa chunii barbellata, also known as Barbie's bamboo or Barbie's blue bamboo or whatever they call it. Anyways, this is another clumper, a little bit semi-open. And again, gets its name from the beautiful shoots that come up. You can see these coming up right now. It's got the nice bluish powder on it, maintains it throughout some of its life for a couple of years at least, so it gives it that bluish hue all the time. And again, as the shoots just continue developing, it's got that nice white color to it. Again, somewhat semi-open clumper, not too bad. Again, all started from a single culm. And yep, there's our original one right here. Coming down, kind of hanging out in the middle there. Again, beautiful bamboo. Here we have Bambusa lako, also tropical black bamboo. This one obviously does not like, if you're familiar with this, any temperatures below 30 degrees, it's gonna pretty much kill it back to the ground. That's what these dead sticks are here from probably 2 or 3 years ago. Didn't have any freezes the last couple seasons, so this one's coming along. The beauty of this one is they kind of come out green on the new culms, and then it kind of fades to a purplish black with green striping on. And let's see if we can kind of see that or not. Hopefully you can. Again, this is one that a friend of mine gave me, and I just, didn't want to keep it in a pot its entire life. Bamboo really needs to go in the ground to achieve maximum growth potential. So I did. Like I said, it's had a couple issues with some freezes here and there, but so far we'll see what it does this year. Again, last year's culms probably 18 feet tall. So again, we'll see what it does this year. This one also propagates very easily. So this is one that I'm going to be taking some divisions off of and trying to do some more propagations. Here we have Bambusa ventricosa Kimmei, also known as a Buddha belly bamboo. This one, when put in the ground, it will grow to what it wants to be, is a big bamboo. Potted up, this actually will do well in a pot, and when starved for water in that pot, as these new shoots like these coming up right here come up, they'll actually be squat, and they'll be deformed to where your nodes are much closer together, and the inner nodes here, that area, will be really fat and swollen. So it gives us that sense of Buddha belly, as they call it. Again, you can look it up. This one is striped, unlike the other Buddha belly, which is solid green. And again, this one, once it's in the ground, gets sufficient water, just does shoot skyward. This one has not been in the ground for 5 years, unlike most of my other ones. This was one I was growing at my old house. I had a one pot division of it that kind of suffered and languished. I kind of forgot about it, and finally found a new home for it in the ground last year, I believe. So this is where it's at, and this is where it's going. So we'll see how it does here. So far it seems happy. Okay, so here we have my wall of bamboo, or as I like to say, bamboo hedge. This is actually 2 separate bamboos. 5 years ago, you could see the neighbor's house. You definitely do not see the house or his yard at all right now. There's some other shrubs that were in there, and I'm not a fan of shrubs that are just green all year. So the first one is Bambusa textilis mutabilis. Again, a very, very beautiful bamboo. This gets about 2-inch culms, gets that silvery bluish powder on it as it grows up. Somewhat of a semi-open, open clumper. As we get closer, again, these were all planted. There's 4 mutabilis that were planted here from single comb divisions. And as you can see, there's like that dead one right there. That is the original for this particular plant. And as these come up, it gets that powderish, bluish powder, maintains on the comb. Nice leaf structure. Somewhat not necessarily branching all the way to the ground once it matures, which is one thing I do like. There's a nice, beautiful new shoot on it. And then over here we have Bambusa eutuldoides, viridiflavus, I believe, or Asian lemon. I always get the 2 confused. Maybe I got the right name, hopefully. This one is again, semi-open clumper. This one gets branching all the way to the ground. As you can see, not thick branching. If you want an impenetrable hedge, definitely one to consider. Fast grower. Again, this was 1 single comb 5 years ago. And let me pan out right now. That footprint on this is approaching probably 10 feet wide right now, just from the single bamboo. Lots of leaves, lots of branching. Beautiful colors though, if you feel like trimming it up, like right here, this new shoot coming up. If you really wanted to trim all this lower branching off and open it up and see the yellow and the striping, you certainly could. This is one that I definitely got to do some digging on, as it is approaching the neighbor's fence back there, and those will be divisions later on in the fall, or definitely next spring. Try to keep it out of the neighbor's yard. Do want to be neighbor friendly. Again, not necessarily invasive on the clumping bamboos, but they do spread, and they will spread into neighbors' yards. And now here we have another 2 running bamboos. These were ones that started growing about 15, no, probably 18 years ago down at my brother's in Central Florida. We have Philostexis nigra right here, and then we have Philostexis moso. I won't try to pronounce the real version of it, but these were all single comb divisions I put in the ground kind of as a holding until I got either them into some big pots or elsewhere. I put these in probably about 4 years ago. As you can see, starting to spread out. I have been digging on this. It will get back under control. I do not really want this huge running bamboo. Look at my video, my other video entitled "Why You Don't Plant a Running Bamboo Uncontained," because these spread. Last year, you see here, I had a shoot pop up probably about 4 feet past that cycad right there. So it ran a good 20 feet before the shoot popped up. And that's what running bamboos do. They send out, once they get established, they send out runners underground, the rhizomes, and then you just got shoots popping up everywhere, because what it wants to do is create a forest. And I really don't want to create a forest of bamboo here. It's just not going to happen. And my wife won't allow it either. So I think that's about it for the bamboo, other than some of the bamboos over there that I've been digging on and propagating. So those are potted up and be for sale at some point. But that's it. If you got any questions, shoot them in the comments down below, or hit to the website www.gatorventures.com and hit me up there. Thanks.